it. And now what we're really hearing from you is not that you don't know, and not that you aren't often in complete alignment with it, but that the sublime of the alignment is so sublime that you can't bear it when you're not. Well, you've just got to suck it up. You've just got to accept that that's going to be that way, that it can't feel good when you're not in alignment, and it always feels good when you do, and both are part of the bargain that you struck when you decided to come. So it's time for you to stop beating up on yourself for every little bit of negative emotion. So the best thing that you took from all of this is that when I feel bad, I'm extra loved. Right. That's what that means. Source must be really loving me because I'm really hurting as I block it off. And I don't have to block it off. I'm just choosing to, because I have some stupid thing that I've been thinking about that's causing me to feel sorry for myself again. I've chosen the victim role again. I'm feeling vulnerable again. And my inner being isn't having any of it, because if my inner being were in agreement, I'd feel great. Step 5 is recognizing that there's contrast, but being steadier in the contrast than you were before. The way Esther plays that out for herself is that when something happens and she knows she's wobbling, she'll say, boy, last time this happened, I was a week in turmoil, and this time it was 5 minutes. In other words, just acknowledge the degree of steadiness that you've accomplished and how much less suffering is happening because you're not in that discordant place, not for long. Words don't teach. In other words, conceptually it makes sense. Yeah, I can see how contrast, but instead of going to that thought, which I'm thinking right now, which seems like a really good thought, I don't. I default to I'm not good instead. I default to the thought that I've thought the longest in my life. I'm not good. I'm not good at this. I'm not doing a good job. I should be doing better. Others are doing better. That's the thought that you default to, even though there is an active thought that in time will be the dominant active thought, and it is the dominant active thought of your inner being. And so when it is the dominant active thought of your inner being, but it's not the dominant thought of you, what do you feel? Negative emotion. So what's the negative emotion telling you? Oh, my inner being feels differently about this. I'm choosing to say I'm not good at this and that I should be doing better, and that this contrast shouldn't be happening to me. And my inner being is saying, great job, you just clarified with coffee all over your feet. Esther could have sat there and just felt despondent. She could have thought, oh, I teach this stuff. Tomorrow I'm going to be on a stage and people are going to be expecting Abraham to say important things, and look at how I've created my reality. But she didn't. Instead, she said, that is evidence of what I had going on. And what I had going on was not being willing to vie for my own well-being, to ask for what I want. You're all trained, Esther too, especially Esther, to be of service and to give up her seat for someone else. She's given up her first-class seat for someone who could use it better so many times, because their foot was hurting, or their seat was awkward, or they wanted to sit next to their mate, or they were sick. So many times, because somewhere in your experience you have taught yourself that service is about sacrifice, and it never is. Service is about alignment, so that you've got something to serve with. So when you're rolling along, rocking and rolling, like you're saying, and you're feeling good and things are going good, and then you step into some contrast, next time it will be easier for you as you say, oh, I'm not taking this very well. I'm not doing a good job of step 5 because I've slipped back into step 1, and I'm mad at myself. I'm not joyful about the clarifying experience. We want so much for you to understand. If you had any idea how often you get into alignment and your inner being leads you right into trouble for more clarification. Well, thanks a lot, inner being. But how are you going to get clarification? Words don't teach. Your inner being can't tell you. We have deciphered your vortex, and we know everything you want and the perfect path. It takes a lot of experience before you really know that. Meanwhile, you've just got to accept things are always working out for you, no matter how it looks. No matter how it looks, things are working out for you. So next time you slip back into contrast, just remind yourself, things are always working out for me, and somehow this contrast is part of things working out for me.